Welcome to Smoke Signals, everybody. I'm Matt Montgomery, along with head football coach and athletic director Wayne Coleman. Jacksonville gets a huge win at Rose Stadium last Friday night against the Pine Tree Pirates, their first district win. Coach, this game had everything. I mean, it was just an exciting game. Neither team could really take control. Actually, your team did take control in the fourth quarter when you scored 21 points, 35 total in the second half. Just what a thrilling win, and what a way to validate what you've been preaching so much about, is just stay with the course, keep the process, keep working hard and grinding.
Yeah, the kids, they never gave up. They believed in the system, and they kept grinding. And even with a minute left, when things didn't look good, we talked to them about all the great plays we've already made in this game. Why would we think that with a minute left we're not going to keep making great plays? And they stepped up.
What was really so impressive was how you guys, I'm talking about the coaching staff, you all had to change your game plan. I mean, you lost Deshaun McEwen in the first quarter, and then Aaron Richardson after that. So you had two guys that you were kind of had your offensive game plan kind of built around a little bit. And man, you guys made adjustments at the half and came out in the second half, like I said, scored 35 points. So didn't really affect you that much losing two of your best offensive players.
Well, and the plan in the beginning was to establish the ground game. We've been running the ball well the last couple games. We wanted to keep their offense on the sideline. And so we were going to try to do that by running the football, and Aaron and Deshaun were a big part of that plan. When we lost them, we had to switch things up and go to the air, and our quarterbacks and receivers started making plays.
Coach, these are the kind of games where you really find out about your team. You could have folded the tent when you lost those two guys, but you didn't. The other guys just stepped up, and I know that's just got to make you as a coach and your coaching staff feel like, hey, this process is working, because look at how these other guys stepped up.
Well, and we had talked to the kids during the week about our three losses in a row were all lost in the fourth quarter, and it was just a result of the other team was making more plays than us in the fourth quarter. So we, preached going into the game, who's going to make the plays in the fourth quarter, and it turned out our kids did this time.
So you go down 23-7. Things aren't looking good. And then you just, all of a sudden, you had the big plays. You had the double pass. You had the 80-yarder to Braylon Ryden. Well, before that, he caught another big pass for a touchdown. So, I mean, those are the kind of things that, you're a big play team in the way you turn it around. Well,
and that was, kind of our MO last year. We were a big play team, and this year we just weren't making enough big plays. And we took a few more shots Friday night than we had been taking, but part of that was a result of being behind 23-7. So the situation with two of our best runners out of the game, the situation with being behind a couple scores, it kind of led us into the direction we needed to go, and the result was great.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Jacksonville versus Pine Tree last Friday night. This is your first touchdown, Aaron Richardson. I like the way he kicked that outside. Got a block there from Sam Baker. Here's the double pass, Coach. What a play.
This has been a good play for us over the years, and well, what a throw and catch by those two guys.
Telling you. And here's the 40-yarder, the first touchdown pass that Braylon Ryden caught. Got past the corner and just beat him pretty bad there, Coach. So.
Yeah, that's Braylon's done that a couple times this year on that play.
This is just a tremendous physical effort by Chris Carpenter.
Chris gets open in the middle there, splits the safeties, and almost gets it in the end zone for us.
I mean, he caught it at the 10. He dragged 5 guys down to the 1. Amazing. Here's Tequilin Thompson with a big defensive sack right here on their shifty quarterback.
Yeah, Tequilin's had some good games for us. He's doing really well at inside backer.
Here's the 80-yarder to Braylon.
Goes up, wins the battle for the ball, and outruns the secondary.
Really high pointed that well. Here's the fantastic catch by Pine Tree when everybody thought it was over. I mean, not bad coverage by Gagos there.
No, really good coverage by Steven on that play. Great play by them.
Here's a key play going on that game-winning drive. Tristan on the scramble.
Yeah, we don't run him very much, and we couldn't the other night after Deshaun got hurt because we were down to one quarterback.
And here's the game winner, Jordazian Thompson, 34 yards from Tristan.
Nice throw and catch. Jordazian gets behind him. What a great ending.
I tell you, Tristan had his best game as a fighting Indian at quarterback, and boy, it couldn't have come at a better time when he knew he had to go. I mean, because Deshaun was out, and boy, he stepped up.
He did. The pressure was on him after Deshaun went out, and he made some big throws. Just a great game by the kid.
It's hard to single out individual players in a win like that because everybody contributed. It was such a team effort. But I think about T.J. Ratliff. I mean, he didn't really ever come off the field. He had some great offensive plays. He played great at linebacker. You had great pressure from your linebackers all night with DeQuaylen. Your front did well. Receivers caught the ball when they needed to make the big catches. I mean, Braylon really hasn't been a big part of the offensive scheme for a few ball games, and then he steps up with 2 touchdown catches.
Yeah, and I told him at halftime, when Deshaun was down, I said, brother, we're going to need you now because, I know you're playing a lot of defense, but you're going to have to come over and help us on this side, and he stepped up.
And your offensive line, again, great job.
Yeah, they get better every week. Coach Darby and Coach Black are doing a great job with those guys. They started slow this year, but they're playing great right now.
So Jacksonville climbs back in the thick of the district race this week. It doesn't get any easier. The Marshall Mavericks, as the Fighting Indians head over to Maverick Stadium, Coach Marshall is picked by many to win the district, and they're showing why. They're just a good football team.
They are. They've got a lot of talent on that team. Coach Mathis, he won a lot of ball games at DeSoto, and he's got Marshall turned around, and they're playing great right now.
So what does Marshall do offensively that your defense is going to have to contend with, because they do put up a lot of points?
They do. They've got a very athletic quarterback. They keep him in spread shotgun all night long, and they've got some athletic kids out there at receiver, and he runs around and makes plays. They've got a good scheme for him, and we're going to have to try to contain him.
Yeah, I've seen some highlights of Marshall, and it seems like he doesn't linger long in the pocket. When he sees something that isn't working, he just takes off, and he's going to be something to contain.
Yeah, he's really special. They've got a great situation over there right now with some Division I receivers, Division I kid at quarterback, and they're going to be hard to stop.
And I know that you switch between the 4-3 and the 3-4 depending on situations. What will you be looking at doing more this week, trying to contain him?
No, we're just going to have to mix it up. With our injuries to Aaron and Deshaun, we're going to have to make some changes personnel-wise. And really our personnel, our depth chart is going to dictate more how we can play than what the other team's doing.
Yeah. Offensively, what will you do to attack Marshall?
You want to go into it with the same plan you had against Pine Tree to keep that explosive offense off the field, establish the run game. So that's what we'll try to do, try to control the clock against them and keep their offense on the sideline.
Coach, physically, last week, I don't know, besides Carthage, they didn't think we'd see a team as gifted athletically as Pine Tree. They had some real specimens, but Marshall has some as well.
They do. It's going to be a real challenge to try to stop the big play. If you can just keep their offense, in a box and in front of you and make them drive the ball, that's what you want to try to do. The issue with that is when they get the ball out in space, even on short passes, they're really hard to tackle.
So, Coach, you get the win against Pine Tree, a very emotional win. I know that was very satisfying to you and your staff. Just in the last couple of days being around the kids, what did that win mean to them, knowing that they come back and then now they know they got to get back up for Marshall this week?
Well, we've had a rainy week, and it's been a little easier to come to practice coming off of that win. It's just it gives you more motivation, it makes just coming to practice more fun for the kids. Even going out in the rain, they enjoy that more. So we're not letting the dreary weather get us down as much as a loss would have.
I know, and I mentioned this earlier, that you talk about process a lot with your kids, and from 7th grade on up, go through the process. Is that what that win felt like Friday night? It was kind of like, okay, finally these kids get to realize what the process is when you stick with it, even though you're down 23-7.
Yeah, I like the double pass when you hit that. We practice that. We've been practicing that ever since spring ball. So when is it going to come up? When is it going to help you win a game? It's going to. You just don't know when it's going to. So, if for a kid, there's things that you practice every day that they're like, man, are we ever going to do this? Yeah. And then when it comes to fruition and they see it happen in the game, it just gives them more confidence in the process.
So you're back in the thick of it. I know it's just 1 win, 2 losses, but there's still 4 games to go. So much can happen. Talk about what the win means as far as you guys jumping back in it, because now, if you go down 0-3, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It just completely changes the complexion now.
Well, pretty much 4 wins, you know, a winning record in an 8-team district. 4-3 is almost going to guarantee you a playoff spot. So we've put ourselves back in a situation now. If we can win 3 out of 4, we can make it to the postseason play. So we feel much better about our chances now.
Talk about the keys to the game to get the win against Marshall Friday night.
If we can just stop limit the big play. With all the athletes they got, they're going to get a big play. And kind of like the Pine Tree deal, if we could keep them, to just one big easy touchdown, which surprisingly on the Pine Tree end of it, it came on a big long running play. Mm-hmm. But we held their big play receiver in check most of the night. If we can do that again, keep their quarterback in the pocket, we'll have a much better chance.
And it seems to me like that's what you got to be up front with your kids and tell them, and I know you guys do that. Hey, they are going to do this. They are going to make a big play. It's how you respond. That's going to be the key. And don't get down when they make a big play because they have those kind of players.
Yeah, quit hanging your head after a big play because we got to play the next play. And maybe the next play is our big play. And so you got to keep preaching that. We were looking at the scores from all the district games the other night. I think the losing teams in district last week averaged 31 points a game. That's right. What the losers averaged. So go ahead and understand it's an offensive game, and understand that if you can create a couple turnovers, that can help you win the game, and understand that the other team's going to get 1 or 2 big plays, and it's how you react to that adversity that's going to really determine how the game plays out.
Well, it's Jacksonville versus Marshall on the road again at Mavericks Stadium Friday night. We'll be on the air at 6:45 on the Real Country 94.3 for head coach Wayne Coleman. I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signal.